Last May, Xiaomi released the Mi Mix 2S in the Philippines along with the Redmi Note 5. Just like other smartphones, a lot of speculations about the design has surfaced. Now that we have one of the most anticipated all-screen smartphones this year, we'll see if Xiaomi Mi Mix 2S can compete against the other flagship smartphones. Let's find out in this full review. Hey guys, this is Daniel from Manila Shaker. The Xiaomi Mi Mix 2S bears this black ceramic built-in, as well as a curved aluminum alloy frame. It also has a gold outline around its vertically aligned dual cameras with an LED flash between the lenses and a text with the same color that says, Mi Mix designed by Xiaomi. Aside from that, the fingerprint sensor can also be found at the back portion. The microphone is placed at the top while at the sides are the SIM tray, volume rockers, and power button. At the bottom are the speaker grill, microphone, and the USB Type-C port. Sadly, they didn't include a headphone jack this time, but the package comes with a dongle, so going wireless is not needed. In addition, it has a bezel-less display and a thick chin. Going to the front-facing camera, its location is a bit awkward. Although you can flip it when you use the phone's camera app, it's a bit weird using the front camera in mobile applications like Instagram and Snapchat, specifically when you're up for a selfie. Given that it has a stunning design, it can also have its downsides. For example, its back part is easily smudged and the fingerprints aren't easy to wipe off. With a 6-inch IPS LCD display with FHD+ resolution, this 18:9 screen is indeed nice for scrolling and web browsing. However, it is not as vibrant as compared with other flagship smartphones, but it won't be an issue for gaming and watching videos. The MIUI 9.5 gives the user a satisfying feeling because of the right spacing and comforting design. All the elements of the display go well with the Mi Mix 2S, particularly the fact that the front design is symmetrical since it doesn't have a notch. Although in order to make this happen, they placed the front camera at the bottom, which is kind of annoying. Aside from that, the MIUI introduced the full screen gestures. We tried this feature and surprisingly it went well. At first it was a bit difficult, but eventually you'll get used to it. The Xiaomi Mi Mix 2S features a dual 12-megapixel Sony IMX363 with an aperture of 1.8 plus a 12-megapixel Samsung S5K3M3 with an aperture of 2.4. The camera also features 2x optical zoom, dual pixel face detection autofocus, 4-axis OIS, and a dual LED dual-tone flash. As for the selfie camera, it carries a 5-megapixel with a 2.0 aperture. On this shot, we can clearly see how gloomy the weather is and how dull the surrounding looks like in this weather. This shows that the rear camera of the Mi Mix 2S can capture such details. For the night shot, we'll see how lively the city is even when the sun isn't up. The lights aren't overexposed and some details are still noticeable. Unfortunately, the shot was too dark, meaning the details aren't sharp and clear. Without the use of portrait mode, the camera automatically focused on the subject. The Xiaomi Mi Mix 2S read the subject well and it managed to stand out without having blurred edges. Color-wise, the shot also did good. The AI mode was used on this shot. It quickly read the subject as a plant. However, the saturation of the plants is a bit off in this photo. It went a bit overboard for the green hue. In regards to its details, it remained sharp and clear. We didn't use the AI function on this shot. Compared to the previous photo with AI, this came out better than expected. The color of the subject looks more accurate and it also captured the details of the plant. In this shot, we can clearly see that the Mi Mix 2S color rendering is raw and vibrant. When you look closely, the texture of the popsicle sticks is noticeable. Overall, this device has the capability to capture delicate photos using HDR mode. Clearly, the HDR-infused photo has more exposure as compared with the other one. What we liked about this photo is that it had this eerie atmospheric feel which makes it IG-worthy. This is what the user will look like when the front-facing camera opens without flipping the screen. It is awkward and frustrating for video calling and using other mobile applications when taking pictures. Xiaomi has provided a camera function that detects the user's age and gender. What we can say about this one is that the company needs to work on the accuracy more. Despite its awkward placement, we cannot deny that this can take a decent photo from the normal selfie to the selfie with bokeh effect. The beauty mode really did its purpose to fully enhance the subject, although it went overboard with the skin texture. Meanwhile, the photo with bokeh effect has made the subject stand out with the right amount of blurriness on the background. The photo without any effect has a nice vibrancy, but what stood out is the change from a cool tone to a warm one. Although we prefer the colors on the portrait mode, it failed on reading the photo. As you can see, the leaves on the upper left corner of the photo are clearly visible as compared to the book on the background. Lastly, selfies on low light have a bit of noise and softness with the subject's texture. This reveals that the 5-megapixel front camera is struggling on low light situations. The same goes to the photo with bokeh effect. The Xiaomi Mi Mix 2S is fueled by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 along with an Adreno 630 GPU. It contains 6GB of RAM and 64 or 128GB of internal storage, which can be expanded via a microSD card. This device runs on the latest Android 8.1 Oreo. The first thing we tried is gaming. We played Arena of Valor and it went as smoothly as what we expected on its specs. We didn't encounter any lags on any heavy graphic games. Web browsing, reading articles, watching videos and other things that we do every day is fun and more efficient using this device. The screen size with 18:9 aspect ratio really is a great advantage because a large part of the page fits in it. Moving on to the security feature, the fingerprint sensor is quick to respond and I had no problem with it. Taking selfies is part of our daily lives since we use apps such as Snapchat and Instagram. If you're one of those people who's an active user on both networks, then this phone may not be the one for you. It was a bit awkward since it doesn't flip when using the rear camera, unlike when it's on the camera app itself. We ended up taking photos on the camera app first, then reposting it on Snapchat and Instagram. We tested the Xiaomi Mi Mix 2S handset using the following benchmarking tools, and here are the results. This device is fueled with a 3400 mAh battery, and based on the user's experience, it has a good battery management. All throughout the day, this was used for games, social media browsing, and video playback. Surprisingly, it took a day for the Mi Mix 2S to completely drain its battery. Charging time also took about 2 hours and 30 minutes. The Xiaomi Mi Mix 2S produced a decent and loud sound. When using the mono speakers, it is still clear on maximum volume. It's loud enough that you can watch a movie without using speakers. Try listening to it for yourselves. The 6GB plus 64GB storage is priced at 27,990 pesos, whereas the 6GB plus 128GB storage is priced at 29,990 pesos. This device is worth it if you're the type of person that uses the phone for gaming, watching videos, and web browsing. It may not have the brightest screen display, but other tasks can be efficiently done with this device. It was able to withstand heavy graphic games, and it can take decent photos. Of course, it will always be based on the user's perspective. What do you think of this all-screen smartphone? Comment your thoughts down below. Once again, this has been Daniel from Manila Shaker. Please don't forget to like the video if you liked it and to subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching!